Peace be with you, brothers and sisters in Christ, and happy St. Patrick's Day. Welcome to this series of Lenten meditations drawn from the writings of St. Thomas Aquinas and his work, Meditations for Lent. Let's read the meditation for today from St. Aquinas. The example of Christ crucified. Christ assumed human nature in order to restore fallen humanity. He had therefore to suffer and to do, according to human nature, the things which could serve as a remedy against the sin of the fall. Man's sin consists in this, that he so cleaves to the bodily goods that he neglects what is good spiritually. It was therefore necessary for the Son of God to show this in the humanity he had taken, through all he did and suffered, so that men should repute temporal things, whether good or evil, as nothing, for otherwise, hindered by an exaggerated affection for them, they would be less devoted to spiritual things. Christ therefore chose poor people for his parents, people nevertheless perfect in virtue, so that none of us should glory in the mere rank or wealth of our parents. He led the life of a poor man, to teach us to set no store by wealth. He lived the life of an ordinary man, without any rank, to wean men from the undue desire for honors. Toil, thirst, hunger, the aches of the body, all these he endured, to encourage men, whom pleasures and delights attract, not to be deterred from virtue by the austerity a good life entails. He went so far as to endure even death, lest the fear of death might at any time tempt man to abandon the truth, and lest any of us might dread to die, even a shameful death, for the truth. He chose to die by the most accursed death of all, the crucifixion. That the Son of God, made man, should suffer death was also fitting for this reason, that by his example he stimulates our courage, and so makes true what St. Peter said, Christ suffered for us, leaving you an example that you should follow his steps. Christ truly suffered for us, leaving us an example in anxieties, contempts, scourgings, the cross, death itself, that we might follow in his steps. If we endure for Christ our own anxieties and sufferings, we shall also reign together with Christ in the happiness that is everlasting. St. Bernard says, How few are they, O Lord, who yearn to go after thee, and yet there is no one that desireth not to come to thee. For all men know that in thy right hand are delights that will never fail. All desire to enjoy thee, but not all to imitate thee. They would willingly reign with thee, but spare themselves from suffering with thee. They have no desire to look for thee, whom yet they desire to find. Okay, that is the meditation for today. Let's cover some reflections. The meditation for today draws our attention to the profound example of Christ crucified. By assuming our human nature, the Son of God chose poverty, obscurity, toil, hunger, thirst, bodily pain, and even the shame of the cross, not merely to redeem us, but to teach us the right order of our life pursuits. He showed us in his own flesh that temporal goods, whether they're riches, honors, comforts, or even life itself, must never be clung to as our ultimate good. Only when we detach our hearts from an excessive attachment to these passing things can we be truly free to pursue the eternal goods of the Spirit. In our own day, this lesson is even more urgent than ever. Modern culture constantly inverts the proper hierarchy. It places material comfort, such as instant gratification and worldly success, at the summit, while faith and our union with the Blessed Trinity are pushed to the margins or treated as secondary. The result is a kind of spiritual slavery. We remain chained to created things instead of being lifted toward the Creator. Yet Christ came precisely to break those chains. Through the worst sufferings humanity can endure, he restored what was broken at the fall and left us a living model. If we accept our own anxieties and losses, and lift up our own cross out of love for Him, we are not merely enduring hardship, we are walking the same path that leads to everlasting happiness with Him. As St. Bernard reminds us, everyone wants to reach Christ, but not everyone wants to imitate Him. May we have the grace today to choose the latter, so that having suffered with Christ, we may also reign with Him. Peace be with you. See you tomorrow for the next meditation.